Navigating a healthy, happy summer is what we're going to talk about today on today's episode. I think it should be, if I'm working it out correctly, dropping in good timing for those of you who have got kids breaking up from school. And we know like September is huge for the fitness industry, because what happens over the summer is everybody gains a load of weight because we don't know how to navigate a healthy summer. We don't know how to create a balance. We feel like we're deprived if we miss out on everything. So therefore, we give ourselves the summer off, essentially. But I'm going to share with you how to navigate a healthier summer without feeling like you're missing out. I'm going to talk on my unfiltered little rant for the week first, which ties in brilliantly actually with this, because my unfiltered is a rant this week about soft plays and just theme parks and kids activity places and centres. Why is it so bloody hard to get a healthy option? My mind is blown. If you are out there, you are listening to this and you've got the ability to fill that gap in the market, please do. Because honestly, my mind is boggled why we can only get greasy crap and grab bags of everything. Has anyone else noticed this? You go to like theme park, Alton Towers, or you go to the soft play or whatever it might be, and you can only buy burger, chips, chocolate, donuts, cake. I remember we were in Disneyland Paris, and it's really hard to get anything remotely green, healthy in the whole of the park. And we go to the Starbucks just outside. Anyone who's been there's like a Disney village just outside. So I was like, okay, we might be able to, get something here. So it goes into the Starbucks, which am I wrong on this one? I think our Starbucks do they normally have like little pots with like apple slices and stuff? And you know the way you pick up snacks to put in the bag, because kids snack on the hour every hour, obviously. So he goes into the Starbucks, which is huge. He's got these 2 big glass counters of just cake, sweets and pastries. So I say to the girl, like, do you have any fruit? I feel like Starbucks in the UK does have a bowl of fruit or something on top of the glass thing. I could be completely making this up in my head. Anyway, she looked at me like I'd gone soft. Like, why would you? No, we don't sell fruit. You're the first person who's ever asked. And I was a bit like, okay, kids, we're going. Not getting our fruit fix in here. But why is that? That is an absolute bugbear of mine. It's going to tie in with today's episode, because I know that you think that you can just have the willpower when you get to the soft play, and you think, you know what, I'll be fine just with my, coffee and determination not to eat the junk. Just prep yourself some snacks, ladies. Prep yourselves a little lunch, some snacks. Prep for the kids as well. I'm probably at the fear of sounding a bit snobby here. I don't even like my kids eating soft play stuff. Let's be honest, when you start to wake up and realise the damage of some of these inflammatory foods, and just because it doesn't show up as weight on the scales for our kids, then we think, oh, it's okay. We wouldn't eat it ourselves because we're trying to watch our body weight, but we'll let our kids eat it. No, we honestly, huge bugbear. I can feel myself going on a rant. It's not necessary. Okay, we're here to talk about how to make this summer a healthy, happy one. We need to move away from taking time off. Nick, I'm gonna come back to my goals after the summer. It's like, okay, don't stop giving your body a time off being healthy. That's not what it's about. Maybe we give ourselves time off, Hawkeye in the scales. I'm definitely down for that. I agree with that. We need to manage our expectations during the summer, because potentially we are going to be eating out more. We are going to be going on holiday, having a little bit more downtime, enjoying ice cream with the kids. This is all part of health. Really important for us to be able to, practice a bit of balance. And so potentially that's not going to drive fat loss. Maybe we manage our expectations and we expect to maintain. And again, that's up to you to get clear on. What do you want to get out of the next couple of weeks and months? And if you've worked really hard, it's the month of July, if you've worked really hard up until this point all year, and you maybe you're in that mode of like constantly chasing more and more fat loss because that's what you've done up until this point. Give yourself permission to, okay, I am going to happily maintain. If I don't go backwards, that is a win. I'm going to happily maintain, because that still takes work, by the way, maintaining the current body weight. It's not like we just get to the goal and then we get to just go back to eating the junk, and it's even maintaining is work, and it takes work. Slightly different plan, less pressure, of course. But on that note, it starts with a plan. It just starts with having a little bit of a plan for ourselves. And again, the whole idea of the kids being off and sometimes still having to navigate work and clubs and, just the lack of routine and structure can be quite overwhelming. So it becomes even more important for us to have a plan for ourselves. What I like to do, and I'll just share some of the things that I know that have worked for me, and maybe, some of the things that I've seen work with clients that I recommend inside of, with the women that I work with. But look ahead to the next 6-7 weeks and pick out the occasions that you're going to allow yourself to completely relax. You want to be able to have complete flexibility. You don't want to be worrying about calories or any of that sort of stuff. Pick that out, okay, of your next 6 to 8 weeks. Perfect, okay. Now we've got those occasions like put to one side. Everything else we can navigate. Everything else we can make a packed lunch. We can eat in a way that is normal. We can drink the water. We can get the steps, whatever it is. I think it makes those occasions more enjoyable as well. When you've got that sense of you've been looking forward to it, you've almost like worked for it, rather than how many of us get to the end of the summer and actually at this point we're just putting anything on that we can cover up in. The diet's gone completely out the window weeks ago, so at this point we just really don't care what we're putting in our bodies at the minute, because we're just telling ourselves September the 1st is the holy grail, we're going to get back to it. And so we don't even enjoy the occasions as much as we could if we'd have actually geared ourselves towards them and look forward to them. Of course, when I'm talking about having a plan, a lot of that comes down to nutrition, because the food that we put into our body impacts how we feel in our body, which then impacts our mood, our energy, the quality that quality of sleep, and all the other good stuff. So understanding the weeks when maybe the way that I sort of like talk about it with my clients is push and pull. So there'll be weeks when you're going to push full steam ahead. Yeah, I'm going to plan all my meals. I'm going to get my workouts. I'm going to do all of the things. Then there'll be other weeks when you have a bit of a pullback. No, you're going to push on, push, and then you pull week as you pull back. So that might be the week that you travel home to see your family, or you go on holiday with the kids, or the expectation that week is just to have fun, create memories, and just enjoy. Enjoy. There's not even any big pressure. Assuming that you've done the work up until this point, there's no big pressure around calories and managing that side of it, because this is what we've been working towards. This is the holiday, the week off, whatever it might be. I'm talking about that being the 1 week though, and not the entire 6. That can be a really useful way to just consider, am I in a push or a pull week? Because again, sometimes when you are in a week where you're pulling back and you're relaxing a little bit, it can feel so foreign. If you've been so used to being on a diet, that can feel like, oh, I'm letting my standards slip, I'm going backwards. And then we resort to some like crash diet tactics to get ourselves back on course, rather than the plan is to enjoy. My body is probably going to fluctuate as a byproduct of me drinking a bit more alcohol, or staying up late, or eating the higher calorie foods. It's not a result in body fat. It's not body fat. The fluctuation, largely, it's just water. That can be something that we need to get our heads around. But again, just managing the expectations on that is huge. Remember that if we are going to have a healthy summer, health is not a number on the scales. So stop relating our version of like a healthy, happy summer to the number on the scales, and instead reframe it. How do you want to feel when you wake up in the morning? Is how. That's one of the ways in which I sort of help to just make better decisions throughout the day. Like, how do I want to feel? I just fast forward to the next morning. How do I want to feel when I wake up? 9 times out of 10, of course, we would love to wake up on green battery with energy in the tank, well slept, ready for the day ahead, not feeling bloated, not feeling lethargic. So just thinking to how you want to feel when you wake up can massively impact the decisions that you make. And I tell you one thing, and again, I've learned this from experience. Understanding how you want to feel requires you to hold yourself to a higher standard. And this is another part of why I think maybe we do struggle during half term, summer holidays, Christmas holidays, whatever it might be, because we're not used to holding ourselves to a higher standard. We're used to going with the flow of everyone else. So when it can work for everybody else, that we take care of ourselves, then we manage to do it. But when it doesn't suit everyone else's schedule, we let what matters to us drop. And we've got to work. We've got to work to prioritise ourselves and hold ourselves to that high standard. I will say at this point, of course we're going to have days on holiday, during the summer, whatever it might be, where we feel like we've overindulged. Completely normal. Can we just normalise that, please? Because we then overindulge, we open up Instagram the next morning and everyone's shredded to within an inch of their lives, and we're like, well, I'm never going to get to that standard, or whatever it is that we tell ourselves. It's normal. The women that we're seeing on Instagram that are portraying a lifestyle of shredded 24/7 will also be having days like that. They just might not be talking about it. But holding ourselves to a higher standard is really important. And again, the food that we put into our body is part of that. Have standards around your food. Have standards around what you will eat and what you will allow into your body. If you are going somewhere where there's only junk, crap options, either change to a different place if it's a restaurant, or prepare for yourself. Be unapologetic about the standards that you want to hold yourself to when it comes to the food that you will allow to put in your body. If you are, like me, 42, or, even of an age now where it's like, okay, this stuff actually matters. This matters. It's going to impact, our skin, our hormones, whether we're bloated. If I feel bloated, am I going to want to get, undressed in front of my husband tonight, or am I going to be quickly hiding or waiting for him to run out the room? Just think about how all of this just impacts the bigger picture. So actually just being able to tap into, okay, how do I want to feel? Okay, I know what I've got to do to feel like that. And it's maybe going to require me still scheduling in some time for myself, or eating a certain way, or, just being a little bit more choosy around alcohol. I'm not saying completely remove alcohol, but be more choosy around the alcohol that you drink, and how much of it you drink. Big part of navigating a healthy summer is that. Let's talk about, those buffets, barbecues. I have a rule inside my community that I just want to pass on. This episode is very much sort of quick fire, quick tips. We have a rule, which is the 1 plate rule. Okay, this is not science backed. This is my own, just years of experience, realising that if we go to a buffet, use a buffet as an example, and we think, no, I'm being good, I'm being healthy, I'm just going to have, I'm going to get the few salad leaves, couple of slices of whatever, I'm going to eat the healthy stuff. I really love quiche, but I'm not going to have any of that because it's probably high calorie, and we leave all of the things that we would truly want to eat, and we get the place of the healthy foods, and we feel really accomplished. Sometimes that's great and that works. 9 times out of 10, what will then happen is, as the day or the night or the event goes on, you find yourself just quickly going up to the buffet and just getting a little bit of what you truly fancied, because it's there and it's looking at you the whole time, and everyone else is eating it and you're not full from your little healthy plate of food. Instead, we practice a 1 plate rule. Go to the buffet, go to the barbecue. Again, you're still going to have to exercise some level of willpower on this one. Listen to the episodes on the habits that can sabotage your progress. I'll give you some great tips on how to get past needing to eat everything just because it's in front of you. But in that scenario, 1 plate rule. You're just going to get 1 plate of what you fancy. It doesn't matter if that plate has got a piece of cake, some chicken wings and a piece of quiche on it. Okay, on a normal day, would that be the most calorie dense, nutritious plate of food? No. But this is not a normal day. You're at a barbecue or you're at a social occasion. So don't overthink it. Get the plate, because the worst thing is to come home and feel deprived and then eat the grab bag of crisp anyway because you didn't eat enough of the barbecue because you were trying to be good. We're totally doing ourselves out of being able to experience in a balanced way. I know some of you have done that. I know that you are relating to that. Where you go to the occasion, you're being good, and then you get home and you have a little snack attack, because in the back of our minds, we've missed out. We want to be able to create this balance where it just feels manageable. One plate, whatever you fancy. If it takes you over your calories for one day, it's not the end of the world. It's not going to result in fat gains. Maybe you need to move a little bit more, drink a little bit more water the next day, but we can manage that. Another tip that I will give my clients, and I do this myself, I do this on holiday, I do it all of the time, is it just giving yourself a 24-hour reset. Do you know when you have like those weekends, or even just days back to back, or maybe you're on holiday and you genuinely feel like you've lost the reins? You're like, okay, wow, before I know it, I've not been to the gym, I've overeaten, I'm feeling like my cravings, my habits are getting a little bit out of control here. The thought of like getting back to it and completely missing out on all of that stuff it's not very desirable. So we keep ourselves, it's a little bit all or nothing. The thought of, going back to being strict and regimented is quite overwhelming. So we do a 24-hour reset. You're just going to promise yourself for one day that you are going to eat well. You're going to get your 5 a day. You're going to prioritise protein in every meal. You're going to get 10,000 steps as a minimum, because you don't feel at your best, so your movement's important. And you're going to drink enough water. Okay, you're going to just take care of yourself for 24 hours. If after the 24 hours you are still craving the junk, whatever it might be, okay, allow yourself a little bit, because that's how we do it. This is playing devil's advocate, because I almost guarantee after that 24 hours, you'll be over it. You'll be past it. You'll feel back in the driver's seat. That is how quick your body can adapt. If you've been consistent up until a point, and then you have a little blow, you have a holiday, whatever it is, you can quickly adapt and snap back in, especially mentally, within 24 hours. But you've got to commit to 24 hours, because part of it is like mental resilience. Is like, it's showing yourself that you can beat the craving. You can say no to the chocolate that you've been eating every day for the last 7 days, and now it feels that you can't get out of that habit. Or the glass of wine every night, whatever it might be. Like, we come back from holiday sometimes, don't we? We're in these habits because it's been part of our holiday. 24-hour reset. Give it a go. Let me know how you get on with that one. Because I think I've done this on holiday. When I've been on holiday and I've got to the point where I've been like, oh my gosh, I am a walking piece of bread at this point and I don't feel good. And I'll be like, right, okay, I'm going to get a light breakfast. I'm going to enjoy a nice lunch. But you know what? I'm probably going to skip the ice cream today or whatever it is. I'm just going to give my body a day of like normality. And it works wonders. It really, honestly, it works wonders. I wouldn't be Nicola Graham if I didn't remind you to keep your workout, to keep your general movement in there somewhere as best that you can. It doesn't have to look like it's looked prior to some holidays. If you're off with the kids specifically, or even if you're not and it's just a busier time than normal, your workouts might have to look different. But remove this like thought that it's not worth doing if it's not 30 minutes all out intense CrossFit session. Like, it can be 10 minutes at home. Movement is movement. Keep it in as part of your healthy summer. Our bodies are designed to move. If we want to stay at our best, want to keep our energy high, move. Energy begets energy. Is that the right term? I think it is. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this episode up. I know it was a short and sweet. The big takeaway, the reminder, is to enjoy. Enjoy your summer to the max. Be present. Be your most confident, authentic self. Do it in a way that keeps you feeling at your best. Hold yourself to those higher standards. Remove the all or nothing. Don't worry about upsetting the apple cart if you're not going to drink tonight, or you have brought the skinny burgers to the barbecue. That's something that I would probably do. Whatever it might be, you do you. Remember that your healthiest self is not a number on the scales. If you know that you need to move away from overthinking that number during the summer, then do it and liberate yourself, and just make sure that in the background you are still doing all the things, checking the boxes that you know that you need to do for yourself to keep feeling at your best with confidence. I hope there were some takeaways in that. If there are any questions or any feedback, I would love to hear as always, and I will catch you on the next episode.